My name is Leia Smile, and today I will be talking about Java. So, the invention of Java. Java is an object-oriented programming language developed by James Gosling and colleagues at Sun Microsystems in the early 1990s. Unlike conventional languages, which are generally designed either to be compiled to native machine code or to be interpreted from source code at runtime, Java is intended to be compiled to a bytecode, which is then run generally using GIT compilation by a Java virtual machine. Java was started as a project called Oak by James Gosling in June 1991. Gosling's goals were to implement a virtual machine in a language that had a similar C-like notation but with greater uniformity and simplicity than C/C++. The first public implementation was Java 1.0 in 1995. It made the promise of write once, run anywhere with free runtimes on popular platforms. There were 5 primary goals in the creation of the Java language. It should use the object-oriented programming methodology. It should allow the same program to be executed on multiple operating systems. It should contain built-in support for using computer networks. It should be designed to execute code from remote sources securely, and it should be easy to use by selecting what was considered the good parts of other object-oriented languages. So, what does Java do? Java is a programming language that developers use to create applications on your computer, so to make apps. Chances are you've downloaded a program that required the Java runtime, so you probably have it installed on your system. Java also has a web plugin that allows you to run these apps in your browser. So, jobs and careers you can get by knowing Java. You can work in the cloud. So, as they do with many languages, software developers use Java to build cloud-based application services, web APIs, client applications, and so on. It's not just that Java is useful for creating new applications in the cloud or moving existing applications to the cloud, but Java's proven ability to work anywhere fits perfectly into the modern mix of cloud, mobile, and desktop applications designed to function the same way no matter where they happen to be running. There is also no lack of AV VR apps out there, many of which are mobile apps that all rely on cloud-based sources. Exploring space at NASA. So NASA uses Java for a number of interesting applications. One is Whirlwind, which is a software development kit that lets you zoom in from outer space and examine any location on Earth. The data source is a combination of Landsat satellite imagery and shuttle radar topography mission data. In a blog post on developing NASA's mission software with Java, 4 top NASA engineers detail the role Java played in various space missions. You can work with the Internet of Things, which you probably hear a lot about these days. The Internet of Things is everywhere, from sensors in massive industrial machinery to smart house devices like security cameras. In fact, did you know that the popular Nest thermostat relies on an interesting mix of Java and AI? Some smart vending machines are Java-based, using software to track inventory, temperature, humidity, and location. In addition, many wearable technology applications are built in Java. You can develop self-driving cars, which is one of the more interesting and demanding uses of technology today. Sure, you have to create the robotics that can steer the vehicle and place the right assortment of sensors to help the car avoid collisions, but some of the most interesting work uses technology to perform tasks that humans consider more or less mundane. Java plays a role in the creation of self-driving cars. Getting your name on the big screen. So, special effects firms like Industrial Light and Magic, ILM, rely on Java for all sorts of software-based wonders. In fact, you can often find jobs at ILM for just about any development skill. Currently, ILM uses a combination of Java and Python to handle tasks like sequencing animation scenes. You can make games, which is a very common use of Java. A lot of popular video games today, such as RuneScape, for example, run on Java. Basically, Java games are just about everywhere because Java works just about everywhere. Android makes extensive use of Java for apps of all sorts, including games. So, can you code in this language on your own computer? Yes, you can. To set up the Java platform on your computer, you need to download the developer kit and then set up whatever development environment you plan on using. You can also do this in one step by downloading the JDK that comes bundled with the NetBeans IDE. So the syntax of Java includes variables, loops, lists, and strings, which we'll go over here. The variable syntax is type variable =, value, semicolon, where type is one of Java's types, such as an integer or a string, and variable is the name of the variable that you want to name it, and then the =, is used to assign values to the variable. Loop syntax, so there's different loops. There's while loops, for loops, enhanced for loop, which is basically a for loop but enhanced, obviously. So a while loop is a control flow statement that allows code to be executed repeatedly based on a given Boolean condition. The while loop can be thought of as a repeating if statement. So the syntax is while, you put the Boolean condition you want in parentheses, bracket, the loop statement, and then another bracket. A for loop provides a concise way of writing the loop structure. Unlike a while loop, a for statement consumes the initialization condition and increment or decrement in one line, thereby providing a shorter, easy-to-debug structure of looping. The syntax is for, you initialize the condition, then semicolon, testing condition, semicolon, increment/decrement, and then bracket and the statement, and then another bracket. An enhanced for loop provides a simpler way to iterate through the elements of a collection or array. It is inflexible and should be used only when there is a need to iterate through the elements in sequential manner without knowing the index of currently processed element. Syntax is for t-element, collection, object/array, bracket, statement, bracket. And then there's the syntax of lists, which we have here. I won't go through all of it, but you can explore the whole list on the website. Then there's the string syntax. This is a basic type. It's the string type in the arrows, and then string variable equals quotations, sequence of string, semicolon. So the main method is required, and you will see it in every Java program. It's public static void main string args. Any code inside the main method will be executed, so any code in here will be executed. Every Java program has a class name which must match the file name, and that every program must contain the main method. Inside the main method, we can use println method to print a line of text to the screen. Public static void main string system out print iln hello world, so it'll print hello world. So this is a sample code. You can read it on the website, but I'll basically be explaining what it does. So when you run this whole program, before the swap, the first number was 1.2 and the second number was 2.45. That's what we established here when we put the float first and the second float. We established the first and the second number. And then after the swap, the first number is 2.45 and the second number is 1.2, so we swap the two numbers. So in the above program, two numbers, 1.20f and 2.45f, which are to be swapped and stored in variables, first and second respectively. The variables are printed before swapping using println to see the results clearly after the swapping is done. First, the value of first is stored in variable temporary equals 1.20f. Then value of second is stored in first is equal to 2.45f. And finally, value of temporary is stored in second equals 1.20f. This completes the swapping process and the variables are printed on the screen. Remember, the only use of temporary is to hold the value of the first before swapping. You can also swap the numbers without using temporary. Thank you for learning about Java with me, and that is it for today.